Hello again.
Hello, dear Forest. Happy Friday to you, my friend. Oh, it's a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody.
Just going to let that sit there. That's incredible. Wow. There you go.
I'm rocking a little blue light. Can you see the little blue light? I've got a little underlined blue light on my chinny chin.
You've got a little blue light. What's that for? You doing a UV test or?
It's just testing to see if I'm all clean.
You in a hotel room checking? That's nice. That is nice.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, it's just the LED strip light.
Okay.
I don't use it. It's in my little box. So in my box of podcast celebrations.
Have you been using that the whole time? You haven't been blue for the no. That's it's nice. That's nice. It's kind. I think it'd be good for like a night podcast.
I think so, mate.
Like if we next time. That would have been good last week when we recorded at like bloody
midnight.
Yeah, ludicrous o'clock at night.
That was silly. Actually, dear listener, we've got to apologise. Last week was an atrocious week.
Believe it or not, but Mother Forest had a bone to pick about the bonus episode last week.
Oh, hello.
So she messaged me earlier to say that she was most unpleased, Matt, that we had said it's when we were talking about going to Comic-Cons elsewhere in the country. And then we said, thinking about like small villages or towns. And then you said, oh, yeah, maybe like we're small in Essex. And then you said, what about Sudbury?
Oh,
she went, Sudbury in Essex? It must be. Honestly.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not, is it? It's in Suffolk.
It's in Suffolk. And my mum was, she was like, that's what? Sudbury? Not in this county, I think you'll find. Oh, all right, Mum. Mrs. Essex over here. Well, I don't think you'll find that Sudbury's this side of the border. Actually, there, Matthew.
I'm sure people that live in Sudbury would hate to be told that they live in Essex.
Yeah, this is true.
To be honest.
This is true. We know a couple of people who live in Sudbury. My manager, for one, she lives in Sudbury.
Oh, yeah.
She does, yeah.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what that means. I don't know what.
No, it was the way that you said it that made me go, wait, what? One manager.
The manager, but it's because I tell you the reason why I said it like that is because my manager, she said to me I mentioned her in a previous week, but not by name, and I mentioned her as a colleague. So I'm just going to mention her in different ways of saying an employee without actually ever saying her name. So she'll find that most funny. But yeah, I also, whilst we're talking about mums, so tomorrow, whilst we're recording this, tomorrow is Mother's Day in the UK. And we had a bit of a realisation the other day. So me and Matt hadn't had a conversation whatsoever, right, about what we would do. Why would we about what we would do about Mother's Day? Yeah, it's not something that comes. Well, oh God, that's going to be Mrs. Essex coming back at me now, isn't it? Not important. Unbelievable. But anyway, so we found out we're going to the same place. Basically, we're going to watch.
Yeah,
we're watching a live stream recorded stream.
NT Live, aren't we? We're watching it's called Vanya, aren't we? Andrew Scott's Vanya. Oh my God, Andrew Scott. Fantastic.
Can't wait.
But we're taking our mothers, aren't we? It's going to be so weird.
We are. Little version of our own care home, basically, tomorrow.
That's what it's going to be.
Don't worry, Mother. Come on, dear. Down those. And we're in the front row as well. I've got my mum front row seats and trying to get her down the stairs. Oh, bless her. She'll be. But my sister's there as well, so it'll be one on each arm. She'll be all right. I'm saying she's going to hate me. My mum's not even 60.
It's unbelievable.
She's not even 60. But yes, there you go. There you go.
That is what's happening. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. I mean,
yeah, same.
I mean, when's the last time you watched a bit of theatre for us? 5 years ago?
Not that long ago. I can't remember what I saw, but something. I tell you what, my favourite piece was seeing The Pillar Man last year. That was great.
Oh, was that good?
Yeah, I saw Stephen Pemberton and Lily Allen.
Oh, that's good. That is good. I've got to be honest. I haven't watched an NT live thing before.
No.
So
Have you not?
My first. No. So this will be my first.
What did I watch? I vaguely think I saw Macbeth. I think I saw a Macbeth, which was great. They are good, and normally you get like a little preamble where you have a little Q&A with one of the cast. So I'm hoping we get a little Andrew Scott Q&A. Would be nice.
Oh, bloody hell!
Fingers crossed.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, dear listener, I don't know if this is important at all. This is not important. This is just a conversation.
This is me and Matt having a genuine convo here. Like we completely forgot the format and the fact that we're recording. We're just having a general chat.
I'm still trying to figure out what is these bonus episodes. But this week we're not going to do any scripts. We're not going to make any funny improvs. Not funny improvs, actually. It's probably the better word to say. We are going to look at, though, Reddit. Now, this week's episode, we reviewed Quantum Mania, and myself and Forrest came at an impasse, basically, regarding what to do with Kang, and whether it should be a recast or whether it should be a let's just move on and tell a different story. And so the best place that we can think of right now in real time, what we are in, is to go to Reddit and see what the comments are saying. But also, dear listener, we really do genuinely want to hear from you as well. So if you have given comments, please give more comments as well. But, give us an Instagram, give us an email, don'tbeherepodcast@gmail.com, or comment wherever you find us, because this is actually quite a hot topic. And I know that we'll probably get answers in the run-up, like you say, to San Diego Comic-Con. We're probably likely to get answers in Deadpool 3, and all of that's creeping up. So let's talk about it while we can without definites. That's what I like, the little rumourville. So how do we start? I mean, this is a first. Reddit, here we are.
It is a first.
I just sounded like such an old flipping boomer. Oh, this is a first.
I don't know how do I navigate the Reddit.
Reddit, okay, fantastic.
So, oh my god, I'm going to start with this because this particular thread, this author has come up with like a whole thing. So let's dive. I'm going to dive in with this. So this is _understanding598 is their name. So big shout out to you. And they've said aging Kang up is the most simple solution to a recast. Canonically, the same Kang, but having a direct explanation for his appearance change. So this is exactly, Matt, what you said when you said about Coleman and Domingo being able to take the reins of the part. So
it makes sense.
It does, and they've elaborated. They've said a lot of discussion around the recast comes from the idea that Kang only has variants that look like him. Some view the idea of introducing different variants that look different would go against what has been established. While a recast could potentially be done without acknowledgement, though personally, I'd find it, and I'm reading this is me personally, this, guys, all right. They have said, well, a recast could potentially be done without acknowledgement, though personally I'd find it very distracting knowing the circumstances. Aging Kang up could serve multiple purposes. Number one, make Kang stronger from centuries of working together. You could perhaps have more evolved versions of Kang that could look more like his comic book appearances, more tech-like, robotic, futuristic. Number two, be a full circle moment to the story. He Who Remains shares about how his variants discovered each other, came together and working alongside each other, and then ended in a multiversal war if these younger versions fought against themselves. And number three, be a direct explanation for his appearance change. Additionally, For the Kang the Conqueror variant, time in the quantum realm works in strange ways. It's possible that his variant is the one that aged upward and then once re-emerged, destroys the Council of Kangs. Perhaps you could just show the aftermath with this Kang, with the Kang that conquered them all. Thanks to the infinite number of variant concepts, there technically could be an infinite number of variants for this aged Kang.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, see, yeah, this is the thing, right? With that, it proves and gives the audience enough to think about, and the options that you've got with going down those routes from a cinematic and from a story standpoint actually has lots of opportunity. I think. Yeah, it's a really good comment. That's a really good comment. I mean, in terms of what I found, there's just a genuine... it's crazy to think that all the stuff about Jonathan Majors happened now nearly a year ago. Right? And this is when it first broke. So this is from MCU Theories, which started a thread on, do you believe Kang the Conqueror is going to be recast? And this was 10 months ago. So this is before we got the verdicts and all that kind of stuff. But just to sort of like see, even around here... the comments are quite... I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because there's one here, it says, it's hard to say ultimately, and this is from Agent Smith 2518. It's hard to say ultimately. I think it's all going to be based on the video evidence. So this is all during around when the trial was going to happen. Now, what I think should happen here is that, you know, I said it on Wednesday about kind of recasting, but I think ultimately... whoever they do recast, so let's imagine if they do recast, whoever they do recast will, I think, have to be somebody that is aged up, because you're less likely to get comparisons against what Jonathan Majors has given currently in his performances. So if you age him up, then it becomes completely unique as a Kang. That's what I think, just to reinforce the previous comment.
Yeah. No, I'm interested in this aging up for sure. Classic _win 7532 has said on the thread that I started talking about was they established that not all variants look like each other in Loki season 1, because if you think about Loki variants, we had an alligator, we had all kinds of things, so it was quite established very early on with Loki that not all variants were the same. I would prop my argument to that would be that we very much saw the Kang Council, and we would specifically told at the beginning of that end credit scene that he had invited all of the Kangs, and we saw a shot, and yeah, like you said, Matt, there were a couple of alien versions, a couple of, you know, but they all had the base structure of Jonathan Major's face. Like there's no denying that. So to age up, you would have to be stretching a little bit. On the other side of things, so for my argument about scrapping Kang completely, we've got SND Man 98. So they've said recasting Kang is the best option, but there are reasons why scrapping Kang completely isn't off the table. So basically they've said Kang's recasting has two key differences with past recasts. Number one, unlike War Machine or General Ross, who weren't that important at the time of the recasting, so audience didn't really care, Kang is the face of the next phase. Norton's Hulk, while being technically connected to the MCU, nobody really cared about the movie. The movie wasn't really important, so the recast wasn't as noticeable. Also, it was at the early stages of the MCU where more people weren't as invested as they are today. So that's number one argument. Number two argument is that it has the advantage of the multiverse. Just like Spider-Man, they could act as not all Kang variants look like Majors. This one is the biggest argument why recast is the safest choice. And then he carries on. He says, but now there is something that I think most people acknowledge. Kang the character isn't doing it for Marvel. Yes, some people will say that Kang has potential and he's a cool villain, but that's not the majority. The general public don't really care about Kang, and those are the people that gave Marvel the $1 billion in the box office, not the MCU fans. So they could make the most out of the situation and use Major's situation as an excuse to change the narrative for the best, using Doctor Doom as rumoured, considering he is the protagonist of both Secret Wars in the comics.
Do you think if they don't go with Kang, do you think Doom is the next one?
I think it's inevitable. I think the fact that we've got Fantastic Four on the horizon, it'll be absolutely dumb for that not to be the case.
Yeah,
I think it'll be because they can introduce him in that film, and that's why I think it's the way it's headed. I think they've all of their PR. They've jumped straight towards Fantastic Four. Marvel haven't announced anything extra about Thunderbolts. They haven't announced anything extra about Blade. Haven't announced anything extra about Spider-Man. All of the other Avengers properties have been silent. The only one we have information about is Fantastic Four. Now, why is that the case? It's coming out next year. Why do I think that's the case? Because they know that they're about to tell everyone that Doctor Doom's the biggest threat. So they're gonna open the phase with Doctor Doom, and he'll be introduced in Deadpool 3. That's what I think.
The other thing that I have in terms of the fact that they can't just ignore Kang and just go into something else is the fact that you've also got this direct correlation with Kang and Reed Richards, and we're about to go into Fantastic Four. We're about to start filming that, and then you're talking about Nathaniel Richards, who is a descendant of Kang. You've got all of these threads and you've got these two characters that one's been introduced, yes, potentially going to recast, yes, it's had some issues, but the story is currently in the air. Yes, we're getting a Reed Richards, we're getting a Fantastic Four, so we're getting all these characters that are very interwoven within each other. Do you not feel like, mate, it's just a missed opportunity of telling some good superhero comic book storytelling around the fact that you could see Kang, and we were talking about Pedro Pascal being in Fantastic Four and being an unusual choice for Reed Richards. Mate, am I going to say it now? Okay. I think we're going to see Kang kill Reed Richards. Or a Kang do it.
I mean, the obvious choice, obvious, not obvious, would be Victor Timely. Because they're playing with time. So the very nature of that, for me, would be, well, you want to go for the guy that's gone through time, and but the way that they've dealt with Victor Timely is that ultimately he's not really a villain type Kang variant. He's quite a nice variant, and it's been left like that. But how did Victor Timely depart? Because he didn't die in the final episode in the end, did he? Of Loki series 2.
No, he did.
Did he die in the final version? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was because Did he?
He got spaghettied, but they went back and did that a few times, and then. We're gonna find out, mate. We're gonna watch it again, aren't we?
We need to watch it again. Yeah, no. Loki goes out. That's the whole point of Loki going out. So Victor Timely's still there.
They just sort of sort his timeline out, don't they? They just basically do a bit of a Back to Future situation where he doesn't get the book.
Yes,
that's what happens.
So,
but mate, it's think of it this way, okay? July 25th, 2025. All right, we've just got over a year for Fantastic Four to hit the screens. Initially, if there's no delays, fingers crossed, there isn't. I think if there is a movie to reintroduce Kang in a new capacity, in a new casting, it is going to be Fantastic Four, and it is going to be a really brilliant introduction if we just meet Kang at the end, who just absolutely obliterates Reed Richards and murders Reed Richards. and then we see more of that thread come through. Then we can learn about Nathaniel Reeves. We can learn Nathaniel Richards. We can learn about the interwoven nature between those two characters, and it has higher stakes. It's personal. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's personal.
But Doctor Doom would be. Doctor Doom is the antagonist of Fantastic Four.
Doom's later, mate. I think Doom is later. Secret Wars isn't for what, 2026, 27? We're talking about kind of rounding up Kang. I think if we just reintroduce Kang, and then do still have the Kang dynasty, and just have a new Kang and finish it off there. Boom, done, dusted. Moving on, Doctor Doom. Great, thank you. That's it.
I still don't know if I'm convinced. I think
Look,
I'm still on the preference of let's get dooming.
No, come on, Forrest. Listen, Forrest. It's gonna work. It will work. Trust me. Take my hand, Forrest. Take my hand. We'll go on these wonderful adventures together. Come on. Trust me. And you'll be like, I don't know. What if it goes wrong? And I'll be like, like an indie movie. We don't know if it's going to go wrong. But do you trust me? And it's like, you take my hand, and then it goes like, what I've done. Like, and then it's like Linkin Park. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I see our movie go.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
That's like you. It's like, oh my God, that's a movie for you and me in the way that, you and I are like Bill and Ted. Is it Bill and Ted?
Bill and Ted, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you and I are Bill and Ted, but we're trying to fix the multiverse as just a podcast. That is a movie there.
That's our show, mate. That's the Don't Be a Hero show.
Oh, someone needs to make that.
Love that. So get in touch with us. Let us know. Don't be a hero podcast at gmail.com or any of our social media channels. Let us know what will happen, why you think it will happen, what do you want to happen, and why do you think it should happen. And we will definitely find out by the time Deadpool 3 comes along. If we don't know the result of this conversation by Deadpool 3 or San Diego Comic-Con, if we don't know by August, then something has seriously gone down in the House of the Mouse.
Yeah. Rachel's about to lose her shiz in the kitchen because I have disposed of some cold roast potatoes.
Oh.
Sorry, I do agree, yes. I did listen to what you just said then, yes. But my wife is giving me the absolute evils right now.
Listeners, just for context, Rach loves a cold potato.
She does. I'll make some more, babe. I'll make some more, I'm sorry. Oh, she's crying.
You're always making roast potatoes, mate. You were making roast potatoes the last time. Wow.
Everyone, the diet in this house is nothing but potatoes.
I love me a potato.
Yeah,
they're gorgeous.
Jackets, roasties.
We've not had any like vinegar in the house since we bought the house, right? And I love vinegary chips. Ooh. So guess what's coming in the Ocado delivery? Sneaky bit of vinegar. And yes, I know your face pulled a face the minute I said Ocado.
Dear listener, I don't think we should delay Forrest any longer. He is just frothing at the mouth here. He wants his Ocado. He wants his Ocado delivery, and it should be here any minute.
I just want to put this on the thing, right? People who think I'm suddenly like, upper class Ocado delivery guy. Ocado has its own brand. We don't buy the M&S or whatever you can get the Waitrose. You see, I don't even know.
Say Ocado.
I don't even know what's
say Ocado.
Ocado.
You can't say it without sounding posh.
Ocado, darling. The Ocado.
It's like what delivery have you got? Oh, I've got Tesco, Morrison's.
I like
say Ocado.
Ocado,
darling. Ocado, darling. It's got to be left with a darling at the end. Ocado, darling.
Ocado has a Tesco price match, Matt. So quite often it's the same price, and if it isn't, I get my little voucher for the next time I buy from them. So
Voucher. Oh my god.
I get my tiny little voucher, I just put that voucher next to the champagne that they get me for my. I'm joking. Anyway,
wow, you have a lovely time, dear
thank
Forrest.
You too, mate.
I fully anticipate a completely different accent from you now next week. You'll be like, hello, hello, this is me, a really smooth, rich voice.
Oh, hello. Oh, fantastic. I believe Dr. Doom's on his way into the Marvel Universe. Anyway, ta-ra for now, mate.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.